Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to the conversation in a brand new episode. Today, I got a pretty interesting topic that I want to get into with you guys. Before I get into it, make sure you guys go ahead and hit the like button. We're trying to get as many likes as possible for all of these videos that we upload. And also, don't forget to subscribe to the Dreamerspro Short Clips channel in the description below. And also check out the Dreamerspro Podcast, which is also in the description below. With that being said, let's get straight into the topic. So the question today is, or the topic today is, we're going to be talking about the secret weapon the Clippers have that no one is talking about. So that's what I want to get into this video today. Now, all of you guys know I'm a Clippers fan, and I'm a basketball fan generally, but I also have some various interests within the sports world, and I get inspiration from many different things that I see. And just watching the Last Dance documentary made me think of some things that I generally don't think about. So in this video today, I'm going to be talking about the X factor that the Clippers have that no one is really focusing on, and it's a secret weapon that they have. And I think a lot of championship teams have had weapons very similar to this. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining just exactly what I mean by that. So before I get into it, currently as the NBA, we all know that the NBA season is fastly starting to approach. I think games are going to be played from all the accounts that I've been hearing. I think either they're going to play in Las Vegas or another designated location that the NBA is going to choose. And for me, it's bringing a lot of excitement. I remember telling you guys, earlier, a few months ago at least, when a lot of people were saying that they think that the season is over because of this global pandemic. And I was one of the few people that sort of held out and said, no, I think that there still will be a season, and I still do believe so. And judging from all of the news reports that are coming out, it seems like we're going to get an NBA season. And for me, that's super exciting because now we finally get to see get some closure to this NBA season. It's had so many storylines, so many ups and downs, but now finally we're going to get some closure. And a lot of you guys out there are really interested how this whole Battle of LA thing is going to really pan out between the Lakers and the Clippers. And we all know that these teams have met each other 3 times. Clippers have won 2 out of the 3 meetings, although the Lakers won the last meeting that they did play. And let me just quickly say this. It's a little bit off topic, but I know some people come in the comment sections. I don't know if you guys are Lakers fans. I don't know if you guys are LeBron fans or whatever you guys may be. I don't know what it is. If you have a particular point that you want to make your point, but don't come up here and start talking about, the Lakers smashed the Clippers. Clippers played the Lakers 3 times, already beat them twice. So you're not really talking from a position of strength. I could see if it was, the Lakers had a leg up on the Clippers, or, they had split the games that they played against each other, but it's not even that. So some of you guys need to fall back with some of those, wild statements that you guys make, because you're making yourself look a little bit foolish. But anyway, back to the topic. We're going to get into the secret weapon that these Clippers have, and I believe their secret weapon is actually Patrick Beverley. Now, some of you guys listening to that may say, how the hell is Patrick Beverley the Clippers' secret weapon? Currently this season, he's averaging 7.9 points a game, 5.4 rebounds, 3.7 assists. He's playing 27 minutes a game, although he's been injured and he's only played 48 games out of the possible 60 games that have been played this season. He's shooting 42.8% from the field, 38% from the three-point line, 66% from the free throw line, and he's getting you 1 steal a game and 0.5 blocks a game. So I'm sure you guys must be thinking to yourself, how the hell is this dude the secret weapon that the Clippers have that no one is talking about? Well, for me to sort of illustrate that point, we got to go back in history and look at some of players that have been on championship teams that have been similar to Patrick Beverley. One that comes to mind is Draymond Green. Draymond Green for this season is averaging 8 points, 6.2 rebounds, and 6 assists. Last season, he averaged 7 points. He got you about 7 rebounds and 7 assists. Then in 2017, 2018, he averaged 11 points, shot 45% from the field. He got you 7.6 rebounds and 7.3 assists. So you guys may look at those numbers and say, what's so special about Draymond? But all of you guys who follow basketball know exactly what makes Draymond Green special. That is, he is the heartbeat of that team. He is the engine that makes that car move. He's what gives them their competitive fire. I can go a little bit further back in history and look at someone else like who? Dennis Rodman, for whose career, who averaged 7.3 points per game, 13 rebounds, and 1.8 assists. Now you may watch that and say, well, I mean, the guy didn't even average 10 points, but Dennis Rodman is one of the greatest competitors of all time. He's probably you can make an argument for being the best defensive player of all time. And he was known as somebody that would get under the skin of his opponents. If we go a little bit further back than that, or not a little bit further back, but if we look at somebody else who came in between that, Meta World Peace, Ron Artest. Ron Artest, for his career, he averaged 13.2 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, and 2.7 assists. But when those Lakers won that back-to-back championship and he was on the second team, everybody knew that Ron Artest was the crazy dude on the Lakers team that you don't want to mess with. Every one of these players are known to be the crazy guy, but also the guy that will back up his teammates, that will get in somebody's face, and is their competitive fire. He's the person that drives that team. Every single successful championship team has had this type of player, especially dynasties, if we're looking in particular at the Chicago Bulls, and if we're looking at the Golden State Warriors. And I believe that is the secret weapon that the Clippers have that a lot of teams may not have that are in that position, I mean, as a top team, in the NBA. Patrick Beverley is crazy. Like, not crazy in a bad way, but crazy in a way where he will go at his opponents. And he's one of those guys that gets his entire team fired up with his defensive play. It's not like as if he's just somebody like maybe like an Avery Bradley who plays great defense, but doesn't really pump up his teammates. Patrick Beverley has what we call contagious defense. When he plays defense, it actually raises the competitiveness of his teammates, and they begin to play harder. Come playoffs, when you have someone on your team like that is willing to go at anybody on the opposing team and talk trash to anyone and get in anyone's face, there's no way you as a teammate are going to see that and all of a sudden start to back down. You're going to be able to feed off of that because in the end, it's all energy. And that's what Patrick Beverley brings. Y'all remember the second meeting between the Lakers and the Clippers? I think it was on Christmas Day. Who picked up LeBron at the end of the game? It was Patrick Beverley. And when he swiped the ball out of LeBron's hands that went off of his fingertips, if you look at what Patrick Beverley said, he said, "This is my MFing house." And he said that right in front of LeBron James. It just goes to show you that having somebody that is that competitive with that much ferocity and competitive spirit, it's an advantage that a lot of teams don't have. And you're going beyond X and O's. You're looking at the intangibles. That's what someone like Patrick Beverley brings to the team. I don't believe that come playoff time, although the Clippers have individual, great defenders, I don't believe that they will be as ferocious as a team if they don't have someone like Patrick Beverley, because he's a dog. He's somebody he's a pit bull on that team, and he's a starting point guard, but he's the one that's usually leading the charge on defense. When we're talking about defense, he's the one that spearheads that defense, and then you have Kawhi Leonard and Paul George in the wings, and then you have Montrezl Harrell, in the paint, but he's the one that's picking up opposing teams' point guards, and in some cases, he will play some of the best offensive players that are probably shooting guards and small forwards face up. You saw how he played Kevin Durant in the playoffs, I believe it was a year ago in the first round, when the Clippers took then the fully loaded Golden State Warriors to 6 games in the first round, and he was picking up Kevin Durant. Now, obviously, he can't guard Kevin Durant. Patrick Beverley is only 6'1". But at the end of that series, Kevin Durant gave him his props because he respected his competitive fervor, his competitive fire. And that's a luxury that the Clippers have that a lot of people may overlook. If you look at his stats, there's nothing amazing about them. You can look at his stats and say, there's nothing eye-popping about it. But if you go ask within the league or even in the Clippers locker room, I guarantee you every player that's in that locker room is really, really grateful that they have someone like Patrick Beverley. And he, in my opinion, is the X factor. Some people watching this may say it's Paul George. I don't think it's Paul George because Paul George is a great scorer. He's a great player. He's a great two-way player. but he doesn't bring that type of competitive tenacity on the floor. He can play defense, but he's not going to fire you up. Patrick Beverley even fires up the crowd. When you see him make defensive plays or hit open three-pointers or whatever it is, he's usually getting the crowd, he's getting the crowd into the game and all of this stuff, which is something that I believe is going to bode well for the Clippers going into the playoffs and moving forward if they continue to have him on their roster. So, what I want to know from you guys is, do you agree with me that Patrick Beverley is the secret X factor for the Clippers, or do you think it's someone else, or whatever it is you guys think? Please let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, guys, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when all of our newest and hottest content comes out. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day. Peace.